Shalom, welcome.
Shalom. Good evening.
Shalom, good evening.
Welcome back to the study. We're going to be looking today at the rest of the Parasha Shoftim. We are in a different location, in case you haven't noticed. We're coming to you from New Mexico. So, we're going to go ahead and do the Parasha. We're going to read today in Devarim, in Deuteronomy. We're going to go from chapter 18 to 9 verses in chapter 21 verse 9. And this is the rest of Parasha Shoftim. We did part of it last week. So now we're going to continue and we can do the blessing and we'll begin.
Okay. Marco Yahweh Hambora. Baruch Yahweh Hambora Leolam Bae. Baruch Atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bakar banu mikohamim. Venatan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Yahweh Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you can follow the transliteration. And again, we are, give me 1 second. Let me see if we can figure this one out because I don't see it. Give me 1 second. Let me get this to work. We're using a different okay. Can I? Sorry guys, we're using a different computer that I am not used to, and it's there it goes. Okay. I think now we got it. I think now we got it. Now let's go to share. We're also using a different audio recording for the Hebrew, so bear with us. Okay. Now let's see if we can make this a little bigger. I think that worked. Okay. Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 18, verse 1.
The priest, the Levite, all the tribe of Levi have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They are to eat the offerings of Yahweh made by fire and his inheritance. But among his brothers, Levi has no inheritance. Yahweh is his inheritance, as he has spoken to him. And this is the priest's right from the people, from those who bring an offering, whether it is bull or sheep, they shall give to the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the stomach, the first fruit of your grain, and your new wine, and your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep you give to him. For Yahweh your Elohim has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to serve in the name of Yahweh, him and his sons forever. And when the Levite comes from one of your gates, from where he has sojourned among all Israel, and shall come with all the desire of his being to the place which Yahweh chooses, then he shall serve in the name of Yahweh his Elohim, like all his brothers, the Levites who are standing there before Yahweh. Verse 8. They are to have portion for portion to eat, besides what comes from the sale of his inheritance. When you come into the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you, do not learn to do according to the abominations of those Gentiles. Verse 10. Let no one be found among you who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices divination or a user of magic, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer. 11. Or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead.
Okay. So let's hear to verse 11 in the Hebrew. Let me get that up. Here we go. Give me 1 second, you guys. Maybe this one. Okay, here we go.
לא יהיה לכהנים הלוויים כל שבט לוי חלק ונחלה עם ישראל, אישי אדוני ונחלתו יאכלון. ונחלה לא יהיה לו בקרב אחיו, אדוני הוא נחלתו כאשר דיבר לו. וזה יהיה משפט הכהנים מאת העם, מאת זובחי הזבח עם שור עם שא, ונתן לכהן הזרוע והלחיים והקיבה. ראשית דגנך תירושך ויצהרך, וראשית גז צונך תיתן לו. כי בוא בחר אדוני אלוהיך מכל שבטיך, לעמוד לשרת בשם אדוני הוא ובניו כל הימים. וכי יבוא הלוי מאחד שעריך, מכל ישראל אשר הוא גר שם, ובא בכל אהבת נפשו אל המקום אשר יבחר אדוני, ושרת בשם אדוני אלוהיו ככל אחיו הלוויים העומדים שם לפני אדוני, חלק כחלק יאכלו, לבד ממקרב על האבות. כי אתה בא אל הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך, לא תלמד לעשות כתועבות הגויים ההם. לא יימצא בך מעביר בינו וביתו באש, קוסם קסמים, מעונן ומנחש ומכשף, וחובר חבר, ושואל אוב וידעוני, ודורש אל המתים.
Okay, to verse 11. Let's continue with verse 12.
For whoever does these are an abomination to Yahweh, and because of these abominations, Yahweh your Elohim drives them out from before you. Be perfect before Yahweh your Elohim, for these nations whom you are possessing do listen to those using magic and to diviners. But as for you, Yahweh your Elohim has not appointed such for you. Yahweh your Elohim shall raise up for you a prophet, like me from your midst, from your brothers. Listen to him. According to all you ask of Yahweh your Elohim in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahweh my Elohim, nor let me see this great fire anymore, lest I die. And Yahweh said to me, what they have spoken is good. I shall raise up for them a prophet like you out of the midst of their brothers. And I shall put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I commanded him. And it shall be, the man who does not listen to my words, which he speaks in my name, I require it of him. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other mighty ones, even that prophet shall die. And when you say in your heart, how do we know the word which Yahweh has not spoken? Verse 22. When the prophet speaks in the name of Yahweh, and the word is not, or comes not, that is the word which Yahweh has not spoken, the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him.
Amen.
Amen, amen.
Okay, let's go to chapter 19. Let me go right into it.
When Yahweh your Elohim cuts off the nations whose land Yahweh your Elohim is giving you, and you dispossess them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, separate 3 cities for yourself in the midst of your land, which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to possess. Prepare a way for yourself and divide into 3 parts the border of your land, which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to inherit, that anyone who killed someone shall flee there. And this is the matter of the one who kills someone who flees there and leave. He who smites his neighbor unintentionally, not having hated him in time past. Even he who goes to the forest with his neighbor to cut timber, and his hand swings a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the handle and strikes his neighbor so that he dies. Let him flee to one of these cities and live, lest the revenger of blood, while his displeasure is hot, pursue the one who killed someone and overtake him, because the way is long and shall smite him, though he was not worthy of death, since he had not hated him before. Therefore, I am commanding you, saying, separate 3 cities for yourself. And if Yahweh your Elohim enlarges your border, and as he swore to your fathers, and has given you the land which he promised to give to your fathers, then you guard all this command to do it, which I am commanding you today, to love Yahweh your Elohim, and to walk in his ways all the days. Then you shall add 3 more cities for yourself besides these 3, so that innocent blood is not shed in the midst of your land, which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance, or blood guilt shall be upon you.
Okay, great. So she read over 10. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think this one's it. Here we go.
כי יחריט אדוני אלוהיך את הגויים, אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך את ארצם, וירשתם וישבת בעריהם ובבתיהם. 3 ערים תבדיל לך בתוך ארצך, אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לרשתה. תכין לך הדרך ושילשת את גבול ארצך, אשר ינחילך אדוני אלוהיך, והיה לנו שמה כל רוצח. וזה דבר הרוצח, אשר ינוס שמה וחי, אשר יכה את רעהו בבלי דעת, והוא לא שונא לו מתמול שלשום, ואשר יבוא את רעהו ויער לחטוב עצים, ונדחה ידו בגרזן לכרות העץ, ונשל הברזל מן העץ, ומצא את רעהו ומת. הוא ינוס אל אחת הערים האלה וחי. פן ירדוף גואל הדם אחרי הרוצח, כי יחם לבבו והשיגו, כי ירבה הדרך והיכהו נפש, ולא אין משפט מוות, כי לא שונאהו לו מתמול שלשום. על כן, אנוכי מצווך לאמור, 3 ערים תבדיל לך, ואם ירחיב אדוני אלוהיך את גבולך, כאשר נשבע לאבותיך, ונתן לך את כל הארץ, אשר דיבר לתת לאבותיך. כי תשמור את כל המצווה הזאת לעשותה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך, וללכת בדרכיו כל הימים, ויספת לך עוד 3 ערים על 3 האלה. ולא יישפך דם נקי בקרב ארצך, אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה, והיה עליך דמים.
Pause right there. And we're going to do the rest of the chapter. Verse 11.
But when anyone hates his neighbor, and shall lie in wait for him and rise against him, and smite the life from him, so that he dies, then he shall flee to one of these cities, and the elders of his city shall send and bring him from there, and give him into the hand of the revenger of blood, and he shall die. Your eyes shall not pardon him, but you shall purge the blood of innocent blood from Israel, so that it might be well with you. Do not remove your neighbor's boundary, which those in the past have set, in your inheritance, which you inherit in the land that Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to possess. One witness does not rise up against a man concerning any crookedness or any sin that he commits. At the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses, a matter is established. When a malicious witness rises up against any man to accuse him of turning aside, then both men who have the dispute shall stand before Yahweh, before the priests and the judges who serve in those days. And the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness, who has falsely accused his brother. Then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst. And let the rest hear and fear, and never again do this evil matter in your midst. And let your eye not pardon, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
Okay, let's hear the rest of the chapter in Hebrew.
איש שונא לרעהו, וערב לו וקם עליו, והיכהו נפש ומת ונס, אל אחד הערים האלה. ושלחו זקני עירו, ולקחו אותו משם, ונתנו אותו ביד גואל הדם ומת. לא תחוס עינך עליו, וביערת דם הנקי מישראל, וטוב לך. לא תשיג גבול רעך, אשר גבלו ראשונים בנחלתך אשר תנחל בארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לרשתה. לא יקום עד אחד באיש לכל עוון ולכל חטאת, בכל חטא אשר יחטא על פי שני עדים או על פי שלושה עדים יקום דבר. כי יקום עד חמאס באיש לענות בו שרה, ועמדו שני האנשים אשר להם הריב לפני אדוני, לפני הכהנים והשופטים אשר יהיו בימים ההם. ודרשו השופטים היטב, והנה עד שקר העד, שקר ענה ואחיו. ועשיתם לו כאשר זמם לעשות לאחיו, וביערת הרע מקרבך, והנשארים ישמעו ויראו, ולא יוסיפו לעשות עוד כדבר הרע הזה בקרבך. ולא תחוס עיניך, נפש בנפש, עין בעין, שן בשן, יד ביד, רגל ברגל.
We're going to go ahead and go right into chapter 20. Let me get that ready for you. Here we go. Okay. Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 20, verse 1. When you go out to battle against your enemies, and shall see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them. For Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you up out of the land of Ephraim, is with you. And it shall be when you draw near to the battle, that the priest shall come and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, you are drawing near to battle with your enemies. Do not let your heart faint. Do not fear or tremble or be afraid before them. For Yahweh your Elohim is he who goes with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officer shall speak to the people, saying, Who is the man who has built a new house, and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And who is the man who has planted a vineyard, and has not begun to use it? Let him also go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man should begin to use it. And who is the man who is engaged to a woman and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man take her. And the officer shall speak further to the people and say, Who is the man who is afraid and tender of heart? Let him go and return to his house, lest the heart of his brother faint like his heart. And it shall be when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall appoint commanders of the division to lead the people. When you draw near to a city to fight it, then you shall make a call for peace to it. Okay, I read to verse 10. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew. Let me get that. Let me get the Hebrew going. Give me 1 second. Chapter 20.
פרק כ' כי תצא למלחמה על אויביך, וראית סוס ורכב עם רב ממך, לא תירא מהם, כי אדוני אלוהיך עמך, המעלך מארץ מצרים. והיה כקרובכם אל המלחמה, וניגש הכהן ודיבר אל העם, ואמר עליהם, שמע ישראל, אתם קרבים היום למלחמה על אויביכם, אל ירח לבבכם, אל תראו ואל תחפזו ואל תערצו מפניהם, כי אדוני אלוהיכם ההולך עמכם, להילחם לכם עם אויביכם, להושיע אתכם. ודיברו השוטרים אל העם לאמור, מי האיש אשר בנה בית חדש ולא חנכו, ילך וישוב לביתו, פן ימות במלחמה ואיש אחר יחנכנו. ומי האיש אשר נטע כרם ולא חיללו, ילך וישוב לביתו, פן ימות במלחמה ואיש אחר יחללנו. ומי האיש אשר ארס אישה ולא לקחה, ילך וישוב לביתו, פן ימות במלחמה ואיש אחר ייקחנה. ויאספו השוטרים לדבר אל העם ואמרו, מי האיש הירא ורך על לבב, ילך וישוב לביתו, ולא ימס את לבב אחיו כלבבו. והיה ככלות השוטרים לדבר אל העם, ופקדו שרי צבאות בראש העם. כי תקרב אל עיר להילחם עליה, וקראת אליה לשלום. והיה אם...
Okay, so we're going to continue with the rest of the chapter. So when you draw near a city to fight against it, then you shall make a call for peace to it. And it shall be that if it accepts your call for peace and shall open to you, then all the people found in it are to be your compulsory labor and serve you. So all the people found in it are to be your compulsory labor and serve you. But if it does not make peace with you and shall fight against you, then you shall besiege it. And Yahweh your Elohim shall give it into your hand, and you shall smite every male in it with the edge of the sword. Only the women and the little ones and the livestock and all that is in the city, all its spoil, you take as plunder for yourself. And you shall eat the enemy's plunder which Yahweh your Elohim gives you. Do so to all the cities which are very far from you, which are not the cities of these nations. Only of the cities of these people which Yahweh your Elohim gives you as an inheritance, you do not keep alive any that breathe, but you shall certainly put them under the ban, the Hittite and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite, as Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you. Lest they teach you to do according to all their abominations which they have done for their mighty ones, and you sin against Yahweh your Elohim. When you besiege a city for a long time by fighting against it to take it, you do not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them. If you do eat of them, do not cut them down. For is the tree of the field a man to be besieged by you? Only the trees which you know are not trees for food, you do destroy and cut down to build siege works against the city that is fighting against you until it falls. Okay, let's hear the rest of the chapter in the Hebrew.
שוטרים לדבר אל העם, ופקדו שרי צבאות בראש העם. כי תקרב אל עיר להילחם עליה, וקראת אליה לשלום. והיה אם שלום טענך, ופתחה לך, והיה כל העם הנמצא בה, יהיו לך למס ועבדוך. ואם לא תשלים עמך, ועשית עמך מלחמה, וצרת עליה, ונתנה אדוני אלוהיך בידיך, והכית את כל זכורה לפי חרב. רק הנשים והטף והבהמה וכל אשר יהיה בעיר, כל שללה תבוז לך, ואכלת את שלל אויביך, אשר נתן אדוני אלוהיך לך. כן תעשה לכל הערים הרחוקות ממך מאוד, אשר לא מערי הגויים האלה הנה, רק מערי העמים האלה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה, לא תחיה כל נשמה. כי החרם תחרימם, החיתי והאמורי, הכנעני והפריזי, החיבי והיבוסי, כאשר ציווך אדוני אלוהיך. למען אשר לא ילמדו אתכם לעשות ככל תועבותם אשר עשו לאלוהיהם, וחטאתם לאדוני אלוהיכם. כי תצור אל עיר ימים רבים להילחם עליה לתופסה, לא תשחית את עצה לנדוח עליו גרזן, כי ממנו תאכל, ואותו לא תכרות, כי האדם עץ השדה לבוא מפניך במצור. רק עץ אשר תדע, כי לא עץ מאכל הוא, אותו תשחית וחרטת, ובנית מצור על העיר אשר היא עושה ממך מלחמה עד רידתה.
Okay, we're going to go right into chapter 21, verse 1 through 9. Just 9 verses in chapter 21.
Amen.
Here, let me get that to share. Go ahead.
21 verse 1. When anyone is found slain lying in the field in the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to possess, and it is not known who smote him, then your elders and your judges shall go out, and they shall measure the distance from the slain man to the cities round about. And it shall be that the elders of the city nearest to the slain man shall take a heifer which has not been worked and which has not pulled with a yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring the heifer down to a wadi with flowing water, which is neither plowed nor sown, and they shall break the heifer's neck there in the wadi. And the priest, the son of Levi, shall come near, for Yahweh your Elohim has chosen them to serve him, and to bless in the name of Yahweh, and by their mouth every strife and every stroke is tried. And let all the elders of that city nearest to the slain man wash their hands over the heifer, whose neck was broken in the wadi. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, nor have our eyes seen it. O Yahweh, forgive your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, and do not allow innocent blood in the midst of your people Israel, and the blood guilt shall be pardoned to them. Verse 9. Thus you purge the guilt of innocent blood from your midst when you do what is right in the eyes of Yahweh.
Amen. Okay, that is the end of the parasha. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew. Let's go ahead and find it. Okay. One second.
פרק כ"א.
כי יימצא חלל באדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לרשתה, נופל בשדה, לא נודע מי הכהו, ויצאו זקניך ושופטיך, ומדדו אל הערים אשר סביבות החלל, והיה העיר הקרובה אל החלל, ולקחו זקני העיר ההיא עגלת בקר, אשר לא עובד בה, אשר לא משכה בעול, והורידו זקני העיר ההיא את העגלה אל נחל איתן, אשר לא יעבד בו ולא יזרע, וערפו שם את העגלה בנחל. וניגשו הכהנים בני לוי, כי בם בחר אדוני אלוהיך לשרתו, ולברך בשם אדוני, ועל פיהם יהיה כל ריב וכל נגע. וכל זקני העיר ההיא, הקרובים אל החלל, ירחצו את ידיהם על העגלה הערופה בנחל, וענו ואמרו, ידינו לא שפכו את הדם הזה, ועינינו לא ראו, כפר לעמך ישראל, אשר פדית אדוני, ואל תיתן דם נקי בקרב עמך ישראל, ונכפר להם הדם. ואתה תבער הדם הנקי מקרבך, כי תעשה הישר בעיני אדוני.
That is the end of the parasha. So we can kind of recap and review what we read. So if there's any comments that you guys wanted to make.
Do you want to start?
No, if you have something, you can go first.
Okay. Well, about the Kohanim, how they don't have an inheritance like the other, tribes.
Right.
The whole tribe Abba says that he is their inheritance. But everywhere in the Torah, we see how we need to take care of the Levites.
Right.
So even though they are in the care of the Almighty, we are to help, by blessing them every way we can.
Right.
Also,
Well, I was just going to go off on that also because they are standing in representation for the people,
exactly.
right? So they're doing like a duty that was supposed to belong to you. So in a way, you have to like support them too. What was the next thing?
I'm glad you said that. And on 18:5 it says, "For Yahweh your Elohim has chosen him from all the tribes to stand and serve in the name of Yahweh, him and his sons forever." That is until, the world to come, right? And then he says he's going to choose not just the Levites, but he's going to choose other people to serve in the Mishkan as well. So that to me is very beautiful. Also, another warning that Abba says, and it's keeping telling us every time that he can, it's when you enter into the land that I'm giving you, do not learn or follow the abominable practices that these people are doing to their Elohim, their gods, because whatever they do, they even pass their children through the fire. They do all kinds of ugly, things. They practice divination, being sorcerers, all kinds of things as spellcasters, consulter of ghosts or spirits, necromancers. And we see that coming back again. It seems like this is something that was done many, many centuries ago. However, nowadays you see those people that announce themselves on television doing all these kinds of things, and people listening to them, to evil spirits and to lying spirits.
Kind of like a celebration of death in a way, like a fixation.
And that's a way to, it's linked to serving other gods, obviously. So sometimes people do not even know. They think they are serving Elohim, Yahweh. However, they are practicing these things and they don't know that they are actually serving other gods, or they're like Abba warned us many times. When you do that, you are worshiping evil spirits. Mm-hmm. And that's very dangerous.
Well, you're opening the door to like demonic spirits and things like that are bad. And correct. I think it's wrong on many levels. And I think one of the levels also, and that maybe people kind of overlook, is that it's give the example of divination, right?
Sorcery.
It's kind of a way of controlling, controlling, manipulation, because you don't want things to happen however they're going to happen. You want them to happen the way you want to happen.
You want to know beforehand.
To be in control.
To be in control.
To be in control. So that's like a way. And I mean, it's wrong on many levels, but that's one of the things that is also wrong with it.
And that tells Abba that you do not trust him when you do that, because he says that everything works for good to those that love him. So whatever comes to your life, it's going to end up good, even though sometimes you don't see the good happening right then and there. But later on you see, oh, wow, that's why it happened.
It's a lack of faith, but also some people take it like a step further where it's like they want to be God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they want to be the one that makes things happen.
Another comment that I have is that on verse 18, it says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you, like Moses, like Moshe, from among their kinsmen. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will tell them everything I order him. Whoever doesn't listen to my words, which he will speak in my name, will have to account for himself to me. When Yeshua came, people didn't want to listen to them. Some people, other people followed him and obeyed him, and listened, because he said, I'm not speaking of my own account. I am speaking the words of my Father. He kept on saying over and over, even though many people are trying to convey that he came to teach something new, something unheard before, everything that he spoke, it was Torah. It was what the Father has given us before. He was like the spokesman of heaven, of Yahweh, coming to earth in the darkest time, of all, and coming to make us know, I didn't come to forfeit or to get rid of Torah. I came to fulfill Torah.
Right.
And he says, whoever doesn't listen to him is going to give account to their Father. And that's talking about Yeshua, who, by the way, he came the first time and he's coming again. And unfortunately, the pagan image, unfortunately, that people has been given to him, makes the Jewish people in general not to follow him. But he is not that. That image that has been portrayed, that's not the true Yeshua who came. He came against the injustice of the time, or the people who were not serving Abba but serving themselves because they were greedy. They wanted a position in the Roman Empire. However, he came to teach justice and, true tzedakah, true to witness Torah, truly.
Yeah.
Amen.
I was going to mention that one also, how it said, I think it was one of like the first, one of the clearest prophetic verses of Yeshua, right? Saying, I'm going to send a prophet like you, like Moshe, right? And so for me, it's kind of hard to understand. And this is the promise that he made to Israel, right? To the people of Israel. So for me, it's kind of hard to understand how people can try to claim and accept Yeshua as Messiah, right? Claim and accept the Messiah, the idea of Messiah, right? Like this prophet from Yahweh, this sent from Yahweh, Redeemer, right? But reject everything else that is Israel. You know what I mean? I don't know if I made any sense, but like for me, if you're trying to believe in Mashiach, then it's part of everything together.
Yeshua is the one who put together what people know as Old Testament and New Testament. New Testament, or Brit Hadashah, is the fulfillment of what the prophets of old said. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, all the prophets told about the coming of the Mashiach. And he said himself that about him, the prophets and Moshe and the writings were speaking about.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to comment on is the cities of refuge that are mentioned here. If there was like a crime or a problem, he had this place that was an accident, right? A crime committed by accident. There was some place that they could go to for a time and kind of be isolated. So there was still a consequence for their action, but there was still that mercy, right? The other thing is also it's talking about the soldiers before they would go into battle. Those who were afraid, they weren't to go into battle. They were to return home because they were going to make the other people afraid. So it's kind of like how that fear would be contagious in a way. And I think it's also showing them like, your victory is not in numbers. So don't worry about sending these people back home. If they just bought a property, if they just got married, like it's okay, send them back home. You don't need them because your strength is not in numbers. Your strength is in that faith in Yahweh, right? That's kind of how I saw that. And then I thought it was also interesting that he tells them at the end not to destroy trees that give fruit. It's very, that's very symbolic. Very symbolic.
Prophetic in a way, right?
Prophetic, right? Yeah, the person who gives fruit isn't destroyed, right? And the same thing, the trees that give fruit aren't destroyed. So it's symbolic, it's prophetic, but it's also a tangible teaching of respect for
What is
nature.
useful, what is giving us something.
Yeah, respect for nature. And that respect is actually, it's a sign of gratitude. You're grateful that you have like this food, you have this fruit, right? And it's also gratitude that you don't take it for granted. You know, cut it down. Oh, there'll be another tree. There will be other fruit. But it's actually that kind of respect and that gratitude. That's
Sure.
how I see it.
And it goes with what it says that after you have eaten and you are satiated, then you will bless Yahweh for the good line that He gave you. You know, it goes in the same way of thought.
How I think it's important not to take anything like, oh, you know, it's nothing disposable. You know, like not to treat it like disposable. That you can get rid of it and you'll get it again. You'll get another one. You know, and that's like I think not the right outlook to have or the right attitude to have, but to be more grateful and appreciated.
Amen. And that is something that we need to instill in our youngsters, you know, because, you know, everything, this is a society of disposable everything, right? Everything is disposable. So even people. And we need to teach our children, you know, not to think that way and to be grateful for what they have. Because I believe it's in Timothy that it says that in the last days, people are going to be lovers of themselves. They're not going to be grateful for what they have. They are not going to respect the elders. They are not going to respect their parents. So, but it's a lack of teaching because we are supposed to train our children in the way of Yahweh, in the way they are supposed to go, you know, because a child needs training. Like the sages say that it requires the whole village to train a child. Do you want to say a comment,
No,
sweetheart?
you're fine.
You're fine.
So we can say the blessing to close.
Amen,
And we'll join you next week for the next parsha.
Amen, amen.
Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, bechayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Yahweh, noten Torah. Amen.
Amen, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for
Shalom,
joining
shalom.
us tonight, and thank you for listening, and hopefully you will continue with us until the end of this Deuteronomy, and the whole chapter is so beautiful. It's an account of all the things that happened to the people of Israel through the eyes of Moshe, and all the warnings that he's giving after he leaves, what's going to happen and what not to do, what to do and what not to do. So Laila Tov, everyone, shalom, shalom, and may you continue being the light of this world and the salt on this earth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.